all day.
Go for it.
Yo, what's up, peoples? It's V, the Guerrilla Economist, coming to you live, Senor Silverback, and the one and only. That's where you chime in, bro. You just mute yourself.
No, I'm here. Producer CJ.
I was about to say, man. Well, Dex ain't on. We gave him the link. I don't know what's going on with my man. So we originally scheduled for 2:00, and he was running late, trying to get back to the office in time. And I was like, all right, fine. Let's make it. Let's see what we do. Try to run for 3:30 to 4 at least. And it's 3:36 right now on the East Coast, and he is still not joining us. So we're just gonna run it, CJ. It's gonna be.
We're gonna run it. Let's do it, bro.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I guess we're just gonna be talking about market crap, right?
Market crap. I mean, the number is what they want to make it, right? I mean,
it is what it is. The Dow's at 20,076.90. And it's what do you want? What do you want me to tell you guys? Dow 29,000. Get the T-shirts. Make the T-shirts. Start selling it. It's coming. All right, it's coming. So I'm not worried about that. But apart from that, CJ, I mean, you and I were talking a little bit about the things that are happening with what else, man? You have the new education secretary. I'm a little off topic here for a trading Terrordome. I'm gonna have to retitle this somehow. But anyway,
well, in terms of the whole market, they keep tying it back to Trump, right? They keep tying it back to, well, we got to wait and see. We got to wait and see what's going to happen. What more do they need to know? They're going to see corporate tax rate cuts. Mm-hmm. They're going to see probably a allowing U.S. dollars that are overseas to allow that money to come back to shores. So in terms of the companies and their investments in jobs, I mean, I think the only other thing that's out there right now is just Obamacare, which has really made all of the industries in terms of their hiring process and everything very stagnant.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And the whole thing is, people are talking about exuberant investors are ignoring Trump risks as legendary money manager, right? And this is Seth Klarman. Investors aren't paying enough attention to the down risk that comes with Donald Trump's presidency. One of the world's most successful and low-profile money managers warned in a recent letter to investors. That means everything's okay. Jump in. Look, the market is rigged. The algos, if Dex was here, would tell you the algos are running on full tilt. Anything that these guys would tell you in terms of risk, again, consult your own financial professional. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But oftentimes we've seen it so many times where these bigwig experts are saying one thing, but it's exactly the opposite. And people are like, Trump is high volatility, and investors generally abhor volatility. If anybody's been paying attention to the trading Terrordome, you've been listening to Dex for a little while, you know that's absolute and complete total BS. Okay, real traders love volatility. They love it. They relish it. They go to sleep dreaming about it. They wake up in the morning wanting to be covered in volatility because that's how they make their money. Okay, that's real investors. Because my whole thing is right now, the market is on an upward trajectory. You might have some dips in the valley, so to speak, but the trend is up. Anybody's talking about from now until the rest of the year, CJ, he's talking about the market collapse, the market's going to blow up this, market's going to blow up that, it's going to crash the market. Not going to happen. Everything is going not parabolic. Okay, we were in a parabolic trend for a little bit. The machine's on full tilt. We're going to overheat this damn thing, CJ. We're going on full hyperbolic. Hyperbolic. There's a new tag word right there. Hashtag that one. Hyperbolic Dow.
And with that being said, V, let's turn it over to the main man.
Oh, he's here.
That knows his stuff, that is out there making things happen. So, Dex, welcome, brother.
Hey, man.
Hey, it's good. I'm glad to be here, man. How y'all doing?
I'm doing great. Better late than never. I was just ranting and raving because some bigwig investors out there saying, "Oh, the investors, they fear volatility," and I was just like, "Oh, if you've been following Dex for a little while, you've been following this show for a little while, you will know that traders love volatility."
Exactly, and not only that, V, but the thing about it is, people don't get it.
Yep.
I think the masses are starting to wake up. And they're realizing that the fear mongers that are out there on YouTube and in the mainstream media are being exposed, and people are tired of the foolishness. They know what they're doing. You have people who have straight up hijacked the alternative media complex to the point where they're just pumping and dumping their wares onto the unsuspecting public. So they'll come in with something like, the central banks are about to destroy gold. Gold is going down to $350 and per ounce.
Harvey did.
And they say, buy this report. This call now for the special report to protect yourself. It's only $499 for the full report. And people are getting tired of that because every time they say something like that, gold goes higher. They say, then they say, the stock market is going to crash. Learn what leading economists are all saying now about the stock market. And yet we hit new highs. The Dow is above 20,000 as we speak.
Yep.
So every time they're proved wrong, they don't come back and apologize. They just come back with another fear porn episode for you to watch and listen to.
Yep.
And people just getting tired of it. They want to know the truth. And these people are being exposed. As a matter of fact, someone uploaded a video not long ago. I saw it. They were calling dude out by name.
Oh, really?
One of the big cats. Yeah, man. They called.
Who was being called out?
Hold on, I tell you right now. So I can say it because it's on YouTube. So it's not me saying it. I'm just telling you what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And they told him to stop his fear porn. I'm telling you right now. Here it is. Let's see if they didn't take the video down. I think he was calling out, if I remember correctly by memory, I think it was Mike Maloney he was calling out.
Oh, he was calling out Maloney.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if they. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I am so disappointed with your video, Mr. Maloney. Yep. Gold confiscation, history, myths, and real solutions. Yep. Fear porn at its finest. That's what it's titled.
Oh, man. That's rough. See, my thing is this, like, to all the gold bugs out there, dude, and I love gold as much as just as much as the next guy, you know. I love it, but my whole thing is what happens with the gold bugs is like, it's, you love the gold, but at the same time, in order for your what they're saying is that, they love the gold and all this, and what they're doing is at the same time they're propagating, like warrantless fear. You don't want to go buy into something in sheer panic and terror. You want to think things through. Number one. Number two, we're if any changes happen in the market, it's going to be, transitionary. And like what you said, bro, they're not going to just wipe out and destroy their entire market. It's their markets at the end of the day, bro.
Correct. That's what's up. You're right about that. And
there's going to it's like the same people who would say this. There's going to be a nuke in New York. It's going to wipe out the entire eastern seaboard. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's a lot of infrastructure here. There's a lot of investments here. Why the hell would they do that?
Exactly. Who's going to shoot their own money in the foot?
Nobody. Nobody.
It's funny because, and not only that, but instead of really dealing with the true stuff, they're on this nonsense. Like, for instance, I tell you what the real problem is, and this is not fear porn. This is real terror. All right, you want to hear some real terror? Okay, here you go. What people should be shook about is the job losses in the retail sector that is coming. It's coming. Winter.
Let's talk about that. Yes, right. Yes, and it coincides perfectly with what we talked about this morning, Dex. I was talking about, me and CJ were talking about corporate bankruptcies being up.
Yeah, but peep this though. Here's what they was talking about on the street though.
Go ahead.
They're scared to death because Amazon has taken it to another level with their store.
Oh, I love that store. I want to go shop there. But tell the people what the store is all about.
And so their retail sector shook because if the other retail outlets catch on, then thousands, tens of thousands of cashiers are going to lose their jobs because everything's automated and taken over by machines and computers and robots. But at the end of the day, who are you afraid of? It's not the machine. It's not the computer. It's not the robot. What makes those things run? You ready for this one? It's the algo. hence the AlgoCapitalist. Algos are coming to take your jobs.
No, not
This
the
is
algo.
the age of man is over. Now is the age of the org. That's what's happening.
Where was that from? What movie was that? That's Star Trek, bro.
No, that's not Star Trek, man. That's Lord of the Rings right there.
Oh, that's right. The age of man is over. Makes
That's
sense.
right. And if you want to take it to another level, then you're going to check out the Lord of the Rings, The Shadow of Mordor for your PS4.
Oh, that's a great game, by the way.
Yeah, don't even get me started on that one. But no, real talk. And then they also said that they're concerned because the next thing on the chopping block now is all the driving jobs.
Thanks to Uber and Lyft.
No, they're in trouble. They're in trouble. Want to know why?
Right. Driverless
car. Yes. So you got the driverless cars putting all the taxi companies out of business.
Yeah, why would you need a taxi?
Then you have all the cashier and retail jobs going away because you don't need it.
No.
You just have an app on your cell phone. You log into it before you enter the store. When you walk in the store, it reads your phone. It knows who you are. It knows where you're going, all the aisles. If you pick something off the shelf, it knows what you picked off. If you put it back, it knows you put it back. Then when you're done, you just walk out, you stuff your pockets, whatever you want, and walk out the store.
And it charges your account. Boom.
Automatically debit. Bam.
Yep.
And the same thing with the driverless car. You don't need an Uber or none of that other stuff. With the driverless car, the car comes, picks you up at your front door, and it's already programmed. It knows where you're going. And you go ahead, you can override it, type in what you want to do if you want to override it, and it'll drive directly where you need to go.
Yep.
So that's going to put limousines out of business.
Yep.
Because think about it, the companies that can't afford the upgrade will be left behind. Not only that, but think about it. The companies that can do it, they have to equip their cars with the driverless, devices and stuff. So then you got a limo coming to pick you up with no person in it. Remember, this is that whole Max Headroom, the whole Running Man, and all that scenario. Remember, that's when we were first introduced to it with the driverless taxi with the little head, and remember that?
Yeah,
so annoying. Yeah, there you go. So now it's all coming into fruition. So that should really be frightening people. That's real talk. That's not conjecture or conspiracy theory. That's what they're talking about. They even said it on CNBC this morning today, and they were laughing about it.
Mm.
So if you want to know the real, that's the real. That's what people need to do. That's why you should come on over to postwavetrading.com, and for only $100,000, you can buy my book and learn how to
$100,000. You buy my book.
You can buy my book and learn how to avoid.
I just spit my drink up. Sorry.
Look, hey, I figure why not go for the gusto? All the other fear porn people, they doing it. So I say, hey, why not just ask for $100,000 for my book?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that's the age we're in. We're in the age of foolishness, and people are focusing on the wrong things when they should be focusing on what's real and what's going to affect them and their families.
Right.
And that's how are you going to eat tomorrow?
Right.
What are you going to do when you lose your job and you get that pink slip because RoboCop just took your job?
Well, at that point, there's going to be some who are listening to the fear porn. They're going to probably think the market is going to collapse because they just lost their jobs, and they're going to head into their basements and get their cat food ready, and wait for the SWAT team to come through the door.
They won't be able to afford the cat food.
Well, you see, those who are hooked on the fear porn have already stocked up on cat food years ago. They stocked up on cat food in Y2K. They stocked up on cat food on
No, you did not say Y2K.
Yeah. They stocked up on cat food in 2008. I mean, they're ready to go, bro. But Friskus, Purina, they're ready. Cat Chow, they're ready.
This segues us to the next point, though, and that's this Trump situation.
Yep.
I heard it on another show a few days ago, and they were talking about one of his policies that he's trying to do. And he said that this was supposed to bring like 15 million jobs. Don't quote me. I don't know if it was the Department of energy or something. It had to do with infrastructure.
Yeah.
Had to do with infrastructure and something that they were saying, but it was like straight up 15 million jobs just off of the infrastructure bill that he wants to put together alone. And I was like, oh, that's crazy nice. But
well, yeah, Japan, they're investing their $1 trillion pension fund in the U.S. now for infrastructure projects.
Well, here's the catch, though. He said that they're going to use U.S. companies only.
Yep.
And everything had to be made and produced here in the States.
Yep.
So I'm like, whoa, that's dope too. But now here's the rub, though, you guys. We got to keep everything real. We got to look. I love the idea of what he said, but can we just talk for a moment? Can we be real?
Yeah, I'll walk with you.
Okay. Yeah, well, take a walk with me. Here we go.
I love when you say that.
Why is it that it used to be back in the day that made in America, that meant something. That meant quality and everything else.
Yeah.
But let's keep it real, folks. Nothing's made in America anymore. And if there is something made in America, it's inferior and way more expensive. Let's keep that real. So it doesn't mean anything anymore. In order for this plan to work the way he wants it to, he's going to need quality to return to the U.S. so that we can say made in America and say it with our chest poked out. If we just go off of what he just said right now and keeping all things equal, the bridges would collapse and all the other buildings and infrastructure programs, they would all explode, blow up, and collapse because we use inferior products with ridiculously silly behind back in the day technology. Yeah. And you're going to pay a bloated price for it. So you don't want to do that, Mr. Trump. You don't want to use nothing American made. I'm just keeping it real with you because it's going to be terrible quality. And even if you said, no, we're going to do it because here's a company here, I guarantee you, even if the company is stationed here, the widgets are not being assembled here. They're being assembled in China or India somewhere. So I think he's fighting the globalists and he has a long uphill battle, but some of these things don't make sense right now because I don't see how you could make it possible. I mean, you tell me, am I wrong?
Well, I think in terms of American craftsmanship, man, I mean, there's a couple things I could point at. I mean, I'm a gearhead, so I could tell you right now, I mean, best, tools in the world are made in America. I mean, I got like snap-on wrenches that, man, it's incredible. The quality, the craftsmanship, it's very good. Boots. Okay, check this out. All right. There's like American made Red Wing boots, Wolverine boots that if it's made in America, it lasts you twice as long as a similar boot that's made in China. The craftsmanship is there. You're paying for it though. That's the only thing. It's like there's a very high quality American stuff, but you're paying for it. Then you look at the auto industry. Like look at the products that GM and Ford are pulling out. Dude, amazing. Then look at the like Boeing. Phenomenal. I mean, look at Airbus. Airbus is the biggest competitor to Boeing, but Airbus is so heavily subsidized just to compete with Boeing, and it still can't do a good job. Case in point, the total amount of Airbuses sold globally right now that are in operations over 5,000. I think 5,500. Boeing has the 737, just one model. One model has sold over 6,000. So that just shows you the level. We can compete. I mean, you get the regulations off of us that reduces the cost, and that's what we need. We've been shackled by regulations. We've been shackled by so much overhead. We've been shackled by, the ridiculousness of insurance requirements, this, that, and the other. We get rid of that, we'd be able to make a very good competitive product at a very good competitive price. Look, I love European cars. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I love German iron. I also have some American muscle cars. I'll tell you right now, the quality of American vehicles, man, have really stepped up. It's not like the 90s anymore, bro. It's like it's not the 80s or the 90s. It's a different ballgame. The quality, the craftsmanship, it's pretty incredible.
All right, so to put in a nutshell what you have said,
but you're paying the price. It's not cheap anymore.
That's your argument is that made in America products have changed and have stepped their game up.
Oh yeah,
it's just that we don't know about it because of all the regulations that have pretty much strangled American competitiveness out of the marketplace.
Yeah, there's certain industries that we just don't compete in. Electronics being the biggest one. That's one area. I mean, besides our Intel,
Right.
and Intel, and I think Qualcomm with their Snapdragon chipsets. And I mean, besides the microprocessing and electronics, like television, things of that sort, we're not so much there. We still have Silicon Valley. There's some innovative products that are created there, but any kind of hardware is coming out of China or Japan. Hell, the Apple iPhones are made in Foxconn in China.
Right.
See, so that's the problem.
That's a problem. That is a problem. So there's going to have to be some incentive. Then they got to do away with all these rules and regulations. I'll be honest with you. I tell you what I'm waiting for, because you made some good points. But again, I think you got to get the government out of the way. The government has its hands in everyone's pocket, and has been doing that because it's taken on the role of not just government but also your mother. The government has to take the position that it knows best. It's going to tell you how to do your job. It's going to tell you how to raise your kids. And then we're going to make rules and regulations that say if you don't do what we tell you to do, then there's going to be consequences and repercussions.
Yeah.
Such as, we don't care if you can't afford it, but we're going to make you get health insurance. And if you don't, then we're going to penalize you. That is not only wrong, but it's also foolish. So if you get the government out of the way and get the government out of the marketplace and get the government from competing against industry, then we will be okay.
Right.
And I have to agree with you on that. Just like with Wall Street, the government, in my opinion, took over Wall Street because they came in with all these rules and these Dodd-Franks and pattern day trading.
What do those regulations do, man? They pick winners.
And they stranglehold you. They make it so that's why the retail investor, for the most part, is gone out of the marketplace because of all these rules.
Right.
And the pattern day trade rule. To me, that is the worst one of all.
Explain that to the audience.
Okay, pattern day trade rule came into being after the NASDAQ bubble burst in 2000. So many people were whining and whimpering and complaining and asking the government, literally begging the government to come in and do something because Wall Street ripped us off. We thought stocks could only go up. We didn't know they could go down. And so the government came in and said, okay, fine, here's pattern day trade rule. If you have less than $25,000 in margin at any given time in your account, then we will lock up and freeze your account until you bring up $25,000 to your account. So you can't day trade unless you got $25K in margin to day trade with. And it's ridiculous. Before that, there was no such a rule. You could open up a $500 trading account and day trade in and out of stocks all day long if you so desired.
And you can turn your 500K into 5,000K.
Yes, easily. People did it. People made a living doing that. People got rich doing that.
That was a good time, bro.
It was an awesome time, and we can bring those days back.
Yeah.
But we got to get the government out of the way.
Yeah.
And that is the real issue. And look at it this way. And I tell people this all the time because people say, oh, the stock market is gambling. It's a casino. It's all these other things. Right. And it's not. There's a big difference. That's an ignorant comparison because the casino is designed so that the house always wins, period. Right. In the long run, the house wins. That's not the purpose of the stock market. The stock market exists so that people can, number one, have jobs. No stock market, no jobs. Company can't raise money, can't hire people. The rest.
Yep. So
we're there to provide liquidity. That's what the speculator is there for. So there's a difference between speculation and gambling. Big difference. And people don't understand that. If you approach anything in life with a gambler's mentality, then it doesn't matter what you're doing, it's still gambling. It's a gamble. You see what I'm saying? And you have no odds of winning. So it's ridiculous. It's like, okay, fine. You have a choice. Do you box Mike Tyson in his prime? Or do you pick a fight with Bruce Lee in his prime?
Ooh, do I want to? If I had a choice, I'd rather deal with Tyson than Bruce Lee.
See, it's a matter of preference, but it's still a gamble because you're going to get your head knocked off or kicked off.
Yeah.
Either one.
Yeah. I still won't deal with BL. BL's the man.
So my point is, people need to understand how to approach things, and then it's not just gambling. It's not just taking a stab in the dark. And economics, finance, and investing are important things to know and to learn and to comprehend, because it's your livelihood. And that's what we've gotten away from in America. We're the hand me out state now. Everything's, what can the government provide for me and give me?
Someone should come here and help us.
Yeah.
The famous lady was crying.
It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so part of it is the government's fault, because the government has breeded this kind of mentality that, hey, the government's here to take care of you. You don't have to do anything. And then the other part is also no work ethic and laziness on the behalf of its citizenry. And I don't understand, that part either. Having no grind, having no initiative, not wanting to better yourself, not having any dreams or ambitions whatsoever, except for to cause mischief all day. So there's going to be a weeding out period. Trump can't do everything. He can't fix everything. There's only one man. And he's going to need help to do it. And he's going to need Congress. He's going to need, everyone's going to have to do their share to be the change that they want to see. And with anything less than that, I don't see it happening. Right now, people are fighting Trump. You got Hollywood coming at him. All the people who lost the election are coming at him. They want to impeach the man. He ain't been in office for 5 minutes. And all these things. He hasn't even had a chance to do anything yet. And they want to impeach him just because their candidate lost the election. So we have a tension tantrum type society going on right now, full of babies and infants.
We see it in Berkeley, bro. These are the kids of the snowflake generation.
How are we gonna make it like that? If that's what our society is made up of, the only other thing I can think of, without sounding crass, is that there has to be some type of culling.
Or a great deal of ass kicking that could possibly happen the next time the Berkeley riots happen in a state other than California.
Yeah, I mean,
those guys stood down. Those guys let it happen. The mayor was saying, and then the funny part of the mayor's like, oh, it's Milo Yiannopoulos. He's the one who started the riot. He's behind it. I'm like, what are you talking about? These people are insane, bro.
It is, but we know it's all funded by Soros and those
Georgi.
They're the ones that are doing this. They're the ones that are doing this.
Of course, Georgi Shorts. There's some dirt I got on the guy. I want to drop it sometime this week, man.
On what, Soros?
Yep.
Oh, I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all. The man's been around for a long time. He's wealthy, and he has his hands in all type of leftist ideologies and things of that nature. I mean, come on, he financed Black Lives Matter and all these protests.
That's because he cares about minorities, bro.
Well, he's about that whole New World Order nonsense.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And then we got this whole Brexit thing, which is a really big deal, because now other countries want to follow suit.
They're like, hey, this is a good idea. Let's get out of the EU.
Yeah, and I've heard the fearmongers talk about the collapse of the EU. Okay. Their EU is not going anywhere. I don't know why people are so hung up on this. Have you learned nothing? These are the same people that told you that Britain was not going to vote to leave the EU. And then it happened.
Yep.
So are you going to believe them now when they tell, the EU is about to fall apart? That EU ain't going nowhere. As a matter of fact, I believe it's going to get stronger.
I think
like everyone called for the death of the dollar. Oh, the dollar's going to die. It's dead. I've heard people say it was supposed to have been dead January of last year, January the year before that. They just keep moving it forward.
That's because you missed it, Dex.
I know.
It's really happening next Tuesday at 1 p.m.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't get an invitation.
Right after lunch break. Right after lunch break.
Oh man, it's so disgusting. So I don't know. I think for the most part, what we're going to see is economic surprise. I think that Trump's going to be able to make good on some of the things he said, like the infrastructure plan. It's going to bring, millions of jobs. I think he's going to be successful in overhauling the healthcare and doing away with this Obamacare. And I think that's going to get the government out of the way and free up cost and bring competition. I believe that in addition to that, that Wall Street, you're going to see this Dow go to 21,000. That's the next thing. And I believe the Nasdaq is going to clear 5,200. I believe that the S&P 500 is going to get above that 2,300 mark. And I think the dollar is going to continue to be defended and stay above par. I think the government knows that it needs to be above par. It has to do that. They have to make the dollar stronger now and make it a little bit more competitive. They can't have a weak dollar policy. They just can't do it. They can't afford it to do it right now.
Yeah.
To be competitive, they just have to do it. And in doing so, I think it's a perfect storm, like we talked about before, for the precious metals. I think gold and silver is about to go through the roof because of all these geopolitical issues that are taking place. And I believe that if the miners can finally get their acts together, like they've been doing, I think they're going to really, 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 really going to take off. And you're going to see the precious metals and those miners just go gangbusters. And it's going to leave a lot of people in the dust.
I agree with that, man. Hey, man, we got about 2 minutes left, bro, at the end of the program. Why don't you plug your site and how people get a hold of you and PulseScan?
You can get a hold of me at pulsewavetrading.com. You can go ahead and register on the site. You can go ahead and become a member of the weekly PulseWave price triggers, and it comes with a free membership to the premium trading room and access to the Learning Academy. And come and see what we do and how we do it, and learn how to protect you and your loved ones' financial future. Learn how to make a good living for you and your family, and how to hedge your physicals.
There you go.
PulseWaveTrading.com.
That's what's up. With that being said, this brings a close to a very short trading Terrordome because certain somebody was not around. He's gonna make it back to the office in time, but that's another issue. Just kidding.
You got it.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, you can follow us on RogueMoney.net. Check us out on Twitter at the Rogue Money and the Rogue Money Facebook page. With that being said, we are over and out. Take it away, CJ.